Hey everyone, it's Rob with Passport to the Parks, and today we're back with another Disney Skyliner update. We're going to head to the different resorts and theme parks and see some of the changes that have occurred over the past month or so. We're going to start at Disney's Pop Century and Art of Animation Resort. We'll head over to the Caribbean Beach and Riviera, and over to Epcot's International Gateway, and then to Hollywood Studios. I would encourage you to visit passporttotheparks.com. You can see all kinds of great articles and pictures, videos, all kinds of great information there. You can also follow all my social media there as well, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe on YouTube. It really does help to support everything that I do. So with that being said, we're going to start here at Art of Animation and Pop Century, and we'll take a look and we'll have some fun. Let's go. Okay, so here we are over on the Friendship Bridge between the Art of Animation and Pop Century, and you can see the back side of the new station here. What I like to do is always start over here at the wall in the map and kind of explain for anybody who's new to the Skyliner, new to the channel, exactly what the Skyliner is going to do, what it is, and where it's going to go. So here's the concept of what this station is going to look like. So you can see those beautiful sort of swooping side panels and the slope in the back. Looks very retro, very cool. It's going to fit in very nicely here at the resort. You can see the different gondolas. Most of the gondolas are probably going to have these characters on the side. They have a mirrored outside. Should look pretty neat. And then we have the map. And basically what the Skyliner system is going to do, we are at the Art of Animation and Pop Century right now, which is right here. So you can travel northbound over the Hourglass Lake, which we'll see here momentarily, up to Disney's Caribbean Beach. And this is going to be the largest of all the Skyliner stations, and we'll take a look at that shortly. From there, you can cross over and head to Disney's Hollywood Studios, or you can continue on up to Disney's Riviera Resort, which is still under construction. From there, you can head over to a 90-degree turn, which is in the Boardwalk parking lot, all the way up to Epcot's International Gateway, and that's to the backside of Epcot, which is between the United Kingdom and the France Pavilion. So that overall is what the Skyliner system is going to do. It's basically just gondola cars that hang from a steel haul rope that goes over towers, and it goes from one station to another. It's a very simple concept, but it's going to be really fun, and it's going to look really awesome here at Walt Disney World. So right now I'm directly behind the Skyliner station here, and you can see a really cool effect happening with the water sort of rippling and glistening off the roof panels. Just a really neat effect. It's going to be really pretty when the sun is shining. Looks like they're doing a little bit of work. I see a workman's ladder here. We're going to head around the station and see exactly what's happening, but just wanted to kind of point out that really cool water effect. I really love it. Here we are on the side of the Art of Animation and Pop Century station. It looks absolutely beautiful. I love the sloping side panels and the roof panel back there. That looks all complete now. The yellow pillars on the side are amazing. You can see it's just going to be a gorgeous, gorgeous ride going over Hourglass Lake as you head to the Caribbean Beach and the Riviera Resort down there. What we can see here is there is an actual gondola sitting inside the station right behind that green crane. You can see it. It's all wrapped up in tape and some sort of a plastic. They obviously don't want to unveil what it's going to look like, but that is going to be one of the test gondolas that they're going to start running here probably within the next week, I would assume. So hopefully we're going to see that take off over Hourglass Lake. I'll be sure to keep up with that and try to bring that to you as soon as they do it. So just a quick overview. I've already done a video on how the Skyliner will operate, but just to give you a quick idea, as the gondola car comes into the station, basically there's a grip that is holding onto the top of the haul rope here. And once that enters the station, that grip releases, and the wheels that you see on the inside will slow the gondola car all the way down to a very, very creeping halt. And it comes to this first area where this gondola is parked back here. And that's where you can load and unload. So it's going to be a very slow revolving process around there, be able to get guests on board. There is a secondary loading area as well to the rear, and that's going to be for scooters and wheelchairs, so you can actually stop the gondola if need be. It's separate from the actual main loading and unloading area. So once the guest is on board, the wheels will again bring the car back around. It'll reattach to that haul rope, and it'll go back up to the main speed of the haul rope and take you out over Hourglass Lake. Now this is the Doppelmayr D line, and this is going to move at about 17 miles an hour. The haul rope is moving at about 17 miles an hour. It's capable of transporting, they say, between 4,500 and 5,000 guests per hour. So that is going to be a lot of people moving back and forth. It's going to be a great addition to the transportation system here at Walt Disney World. I think this is definitely going to be my favorite station to leave and come into. It's just going to be so gorgeous. Hourglass Lake, especially during the day, is so beautiful. The sun's shining off the water. It's going to be amazing views as you go from the station over the water. You're going to see Art of Animation and Pop Century on either side. You just can't imagine what this is going to look like. I cannot wait to ride this. It'll look even nicer once we get some leaves back on the trees. This again is the winter month, so we lose our leaves here in Florida too, so we'll get those back in the spring though. It's gonna be beautiful when it's open. This is a neat little addition they've been working on here. It's over on the Art of Animation side. This is actually going to be some restrooms and probably a little bit of storage in there as well. So it does match the actual Skyliner look, the station look. It's got this slope on the front. You can see in comparison, this is the Friendship Bridge that we were just on, and just behind this wall, you can see the Skyliner station there. So nice little set of restrooms here, good addition. So we're on the opposite side of the station now, and you can see that gondola vehicle is in there. You get a little better look at this side of it. I'm so excited to see when they finally start doing the testing here. It's going to be so amazing. Just give you another quick shot of how beautiful it's going to be going over Hourglass Lake. Just want to give you a beautiful shot of Hourglass Lake and the station from the back here. It's going to be amazing. Anywhere you're on the lake, it's just going to be an amazing view. So I wanted to get up a little higher to talk about the towers themselves and kind of what's going on the top of each tower. Basically what you have is the main haul rope, and that runs through the sheaves, and the sheaves are the wheels on the bottom there. That main haul rope is just strands and strands of steel cable that are run together, and that is what the gondola grip holds onto, and that's what's moving at about 17 miles an hour. Above that you have two other cables that are running on the outsides, and those are for electrical currents. So basically if lightning strikes one of the towers, the lightning can dissipate and the energy can dissipate through those lines down into the towers. On the very top in the center, you have kind of a communications cable that goes back and forth between the different towers and the stations. On the very top, it's kind of hard to see, but there's a little device that's spinning around, and that's called an anemometer. What that does is it measures wind speed. It's going to be all kinds of safety-related features on each of the towers. So that's going to measure the wind speed, and obviously if the wind currents get too strong, it'll tell the system that it's unsafe and to be able to shut down. There's some other sensory equipment up there to censor electrical currents, lightning in the air, those types of things. Everything based on weather. Everybody's sort of panicked about, you know, as soon as the bad weather rolls in, the whole system's going to go haywire. But there's a lot of emergency systems in place to help determine that and help to prevent any sort of bad things from happening. Also, there's sensors inside the sheaves, which are the wheels there, that if the cable or the haul rope were to go off center in any way, that it would also alert the system to automatically shut down. So again, safety is number one here at Disney. All kinds of features in place to make sure that it's going to be a safe and fun ride for all the guests. Some pretty cool other stuff up here. There's a gondola that's sitting down there that's been here in storage. It's most likely going to be a test gondola. But there's also another one that's way in the distance there behind that white crane. They just moved that gondola in. There's going to be a shipment of about 150 gondolas coming in from Doppelmayr. It's one of the largest shipments that they are currently working on. It's going to be just massive when all these gondolas start coming in. You can also see all of the hanger arms, and those are the arms that go on the top of the gondola that grips to the haul rope. So there's a lot of storage going on here. 150 gondolas coming in. It's going to be pretty amazing. I do want to thank my buddy Robbie Von Roll. He provides a lot of the information Really in tune with all the Skyway type happenings and the gondolas. You can check him out at Von Roll VR 101 Sky Rides on Facebook. It's a group that he has. Really a lot of awesome information. So again, check that out. It's VONROLL VR 101 Sky Rides. Really cool guy, really cool information. So check him out. Okay, so now we moved over to Disney's Caribbean Beach, and you can see the massive Skyliner station behind me. It's the biggest station in the entire gondola system. So we'll check that out. We'll move on down, maybe through Jamaica, check out some of the towers through there, and then we'll head over to the Disney Riviera Resort as well and check out the station and the progress over there. So here we are at Disney's Caribbean Beach, and this is the largest station out of all the Skyliner stations. It's a massive hub. You have three separate lines that are coming in here. First one is coming from Disney's Art of Animation and Pop Century. Through the center, we have the line going over to Disney's Hollywood Studios. And then this line over to the right heads through the Caribbean Beach Resort over to Disney's Riviera, and then from the Riviera over to the International Gateway at Epcot. So right inside the station there, you can see 3 of the service gondolas, and those are basically just used for running some communication cabling back and forth between the stations over the towers. I have a video showing this over at Hollywood Studios. Just really cool to watch these guys in action as they're laying the communications cabling across the top of the towers. So as we're moving around the station here, we can see that they've added, this is all brand new sidewalks here. This was never here to access this side of the road. So this was a good addition on Disney's part, because obviously you're going to need direct access from Jamaica to make your way over to the Skyliner station. You can also see a lot of construction with the land in front here. Obviously this is all going to be, utilized with the walkway and sort of an entrance area, but this is just speculation. But my hope, and my fingers are crossed, that this is going to be some sort of a bus station up here as well, so that the internal bus shuttle can drop off and pick up guests. Because if you're staying in, say, Martinique, which is on the total opposite side of the Caribbean beach, it's going to be quite a long walk to get over to the Skyliner station here. So a bus shuttle would be nice in order to pick up and drop off for the further destinations inside the resort here. So I made my way all the way around to the side. I'm standing in Jamaica right now, and you can again see just the massive size of this station. The reason it's so big, obviously there's the 3 main lines that are coming in here, so there's going to be a lot of traffic going through. But this is also going to be used for the storage of the gondola vehicles. You can see these steel sort of beams out here. The gondolas will be stored there. There'll also be maintenance done inside the building. Electrical, the generators, communications, just all kinds of things are going to be happening inside here. So the reason it is so large, it's going to be pretty much the central hub for the entire system. So I'm making my way through the Caribbean Beach right now, and I'm in Aruba, and you can see one of the towers here, just to give you an idea of what it's going to look like when you're coming through the resort here. This is the tower right basically next to the sidewalk. It's also right next to the Aruba pool. Jamaica is very similar. This runs through Jamaica and Aruba. And you can see the cables go all the way down into the Riviera Resort station down there. There's the Riviera Resort, looking very beautiful right now. But question being is this going to be kind of intrusive down here? Some people are saying that they're not happy with it coming through the resort like this. I think it's going to look pretty awesome. But when you look at it in relation to the pool, it's going to be going right over everybody's heads here, going through the resort. So I guess you form your own opinion if you like that or not. I think it's going to look pretty cool. I don't think it would bother me at all. The other thing is the towers themselves coming through the resort. They're this sort of gunmetal gray color, and everybody has their fingers crossed that they are going to paint these towers. Sorry, the helicopter is going overhead here. I'll tell you, the helicopters have been out in full force today. It's been a beautiful day, but about every 2 or 3 minutes there's helicopters going over my head, so it's been kind of hard to film today. But again, these towers are just this gunmetal gray color. They kind of stand out like a sore thumb in the resorts right now. So fingers crossed that they are going to do something with them. Maybe paint them would be great. It's sort of a whimsical color. Some people in the comments have been saying they have it on good sources that they are going to do something with the towers. So fingers crossed. Let's hope they will. But other than that, I think it's going to be a really, really fun project through here. Really, really fun to ride. And once we see the gondolas going overhead, I think it's going to be really cool. You can hear another helicopter actually coming over my head right now. It's been crazy. So here we are now in front of Disney's future Riviera Resort that's being constructed in the background there. This Skyliner station sits in between Aruba and the Riviera Resort, and they've actually made a lot of progress since the last time I was here. Most of these sort of round steel beams that makes up the roof were just prefabricated, and they were laying on the ground over here. So now they've moved a lot of those over, and now they're starting to put the plywood on the outside, and it's really starting to take shape. It's really starting to become beautiful. I'm pretty curious about this station. You're going to have the two lines coming through, one from the Caribbean Beach and the other from Epcot. So I'm curious if it's going to go straight through, which I'm assuming it probably will. You should be able to go straight through on your way to Epcot, or vice versa on your way to Caribbean Beach, but you're also going to be able to stop. So just curious to see how Disney's going to handle that, if they're going to leave some cars or gondolas open in order to accommodate guests getting on at the Riviera, or if there's just going to be some sort of a loading and unloading process in place. That's the one thing that's kind of puzzling me right now, so we'll kind of keep an eye on that as we go through in the future. But it's really, really looking pretty here. Riviera is looking pretty amazing in the background as well. I think once this is all together, it's going to be a really gorgeous spot, really fun spot. The Riviera, I think, is going to be a lot of fun once it's done. So as I'm looking at the towers down on this end, I see that there's still a little bit of work to do. I don't see any of the sensory equipment up yet. The anemometers are not on any of the towers down here, so they still have to install those. And it looks like the main communications cable isn't installed down here as well. It's the cable that runs across the top. Looks like just the guide wire there. It's, from what I see on the other towers, it's a thicker black cable is the actual communications cable. So we should still see those 3 service gondolas at some point come down here to run that cable as well. It looks like the line that is definitely in place now is the one from Caribbean Beach over to Art of Animation and Pop Century, as well as the one over to Hollywood Studios. So that's where the initial testing phases are going to start taking place. And it looks like this side is going to be the last in line. So here we are in the Boardwalk parking lot. This is the 90-degree turn as we'd be coming from Disney's Riviera Resort. You come down Buena Vista and then head into this 90-degree turn, and then continue on down through the parking lot all the way into the International Gateway at Epcot. All right, so here we are over at Epcot's International Gateway, and behind me is the station and the towers. Looks like they've done a little bit of work to the outside of the towers, so I'm going to get you turned around here and we'll take a look and see what they've accomplished here so far. Give you a quick look at what the station is going to look like once it's done here. They're actually building these really nice side walkways here, which is going to be the entrance and the exits. We'll see them over the wall here shortly. But this is going to be such a beautiful station. They have the beautiful artwork on the front, and then gorgeous views as you're going to be leaving the International Gateway and heading over towards the Boardwalk parking lot. So here's the station itself. You can see the beautiful artwork still on the front of the station. The local Florida cranes that they have here, beautiful white cranes. And then on the side, on either side, they've started these beautiful ironwork for the archways, which is going to be the entrance and the exits onto the Skyliner. So this is going to be a really, really pretty station here. Again, right near the boat dock and right near the actual entrance for the International Gateway. So we can see where the gondolas will run up and over top of the boat dock. You'll cross over the water, basically behind the France Pavilion, and we can see the awesome Ratatouille ride being built back there as well. Then you'll continue on down through the wooded area here and through the Epcot parking lot and eventually over to the Disney Riviera Resort. So here we are on the opposite side of the station now, and another beautiful view of the tower going in, the artwork that you're going to see going into the station, and then another one of these gorgeous breezeways that's going to be the entrance and the exit And then you have some of the actual building behind there still being constructed, just plywood on the outside. But really coming along. It's really starting to take shape. It's going to be a beautiful station over here. I think a really nice addition to the International Gateway. And again, I believe, from what I hear, that they are going to expand a little bit of the security back here, as well as the ticketing, which would be a great thing, because right now there's only two basically lines to get through to get in, and there's going to be such an influx of guests that come through. They're going to have to do some expansion back here. It's just going to be totally bottlenecked. So I don't want to show too much of the security. They don't like when you film over there, so I won't do that. But they're going to have to do something, and from what I hear, they are going to expand back here. So let's keep our fingers crossed for that. It's a little better view from the side where the archway is being built. You can also see inside where you'll still have your two load zones. The front load zone will be where the majority of the guests will load and unload. And then again, the rear load zone will be where the scooters and wheelchairs would load. So I decided to take the walkway from the Boardwalk over to Hollywood Studios, so you can see the beautiful Swan and Dolphin Hotel. And now I'm right behind the 90-degree turn. Just kind of a really neat angle to see it back here. And that is coming down Buena Vista, and you'd make your turn and then head down in that direction down towards Epcot. So really cool back here. So this is just a really gorgeous way to get over to Hollywood Studios. This walkway, if you have a chance to do it, is really pretty. You can see a lot of great stuff along the way. The water is gorgeous back here. But we can see the new bus stations being constructed in front of Hollywood Studios. This is going to be a huge benefit for the buses coming in and out. And then right in the distance, you can see the Skyliner Tower going into the Hollywood Studios Skyliner Station. And we'll get a little closer and we'll take a look at that. But everything is just changing up in the front of Hollywood Studios. They're gearing up for the new Galaxy's Edge opening. It's going to be amazing, and I can't wait for all of this to come together. It's going to be beautiful once it's all done. So now we're right up near the bus stations. These are all going to be brand new bus stations for Hollywood Studios. They're going to look amazing. I think they're going to fit right in with the theming of the park itself, and there's going to be direct access now from the buses instead of having to walk a mile, which we currently have to do from the current bus stations, to get up to the entrance of Hollywood Studios. And there's the Tower of Terror, kind of get an idea of where we're at. So now we're up a little further towards the entrance. This building right here in front of us is the new crew quarters for the cast members. I believe the Skyliner and buses, possibly security, might be sharing this building. And then you can see the actual Skyliner station itself right there in the distance, and that is the entrance of the park. So it's going to be very close. Just get off the Skyliner and walk right up there. You can also see the boat dock right there. So all of the transportation is going to be finally centralized right here. Very easy access. You can see the walkway that we're going to continue on here to get up to the main entrance. But just really great job over at Hollywood Studios. All right, so this is really great to see. They've opened up a lot of the fencing here. This was all blocked off, and there's just like a single fence that ran down towards the temporary bus stations down there. You can see the Skyliner towers coming from the Caribbean Beach through the parking lot at Hollywood Studios. They actually cross over the top of my head here and directly into the station. This is a view that we really haven't had before. This was all fenced off, so it's really cool to be over in this area and finally see kind of directly into the building right now. And again, you can see the Tower of Terror in the distance there, just to give you an idea of where we're at. Right around this fence to the right would be more towards the main entrance. Looks like this building as well is housing some public restrooms and some pop machines. We saw that on the other side, so there's the bus stations over there. So just a lot of awesome progress being made. We're going to go get a couple more angles of the Skyliner station here. There is a worker up there just doing some work on the outside of the building. Not a whole lot of action today. It is a Saturday, so probably not a whole lot going on, but we're definitely seeing a lot of progress, and I cannot wait until they start the testing phase. It's going to be so much fun. So again, this really looks great now that it's opened up, and you can just see how close we are to the Skyliner. These gondolas are going to be going right over the top of people's heads. It's going to be really cool to see these coming in. So we're right next to the Skyliner station, and here's the main walkway. So you can see the proximity. So you basically exit right here or enter and get on the Skyliner, get off, and head right up to the entrance. But it's going to be so amazing how low these things are going to be in comparison to where people are walking. So now we can finally get a nice close-up view of how the loading and unloading process is going to work. You can see inside here there are two U-turns basically. You see the one directly in the front here, and then there's one to the rear as well. The one in the front is going to be the primary loading. So as the gondola comes in, we know that the grip is holding on to the main haul rope. Releases as it enters the station, and then the wheels basically pull the gondola around at a very, very slow rate, and it comes to this first turnaround here, and you can load and unload at a very slow rate. Then once you're on board, the grip would again latch onto the haul rope, and off you would go onto the towers. Now you can see for the loading and unloading of wheelchairs and scooters, there is a second turn in the back. So the gondolas, if needed, can go into this second turn where they can actually go at a very, very slow rate or stop if needed. So it's completely independent of this first loading and unloading area. So that's how they're going to unload and load the wheelchairs and the scooters, is they'll have a secondary loading in the stations, and then once they're loaded, again, they can just rejoin the main haul rope and exit and be off to their next destination. Very, very cool. So now we're in the back of the Skyliner station here at Hollywood Studios. You can see a lot of the work is just some exterior work that's being done. I believe most of the internal workings are up and ready to go. So like I said, testing is going to start very shortly. So a lot of the station work is just going to be a lot of the exterior work, and just to make it look nice and pretty and awesome. So it's beautiful back here. So get one last view here. The bus stations, the Skyliner station, and the walkway that basically goes right up to the main entrance. Then you also have the boat entrance here. So everything is just going to be incorporated. Hollywood Studios has made it so much easier for guests to get in and out. Here we go, Galaxy's Edge. It's coming. All right, everybody, so there you have it. That is our latest Disney Skyliner update. I hope you enjoyed that. I had a great time going around. I always do. Skyliner is one of my favorite things happening here at Walt Disney World, and I cannot wait for the testing phases to start. I'm checking pretty much every day to see when they start running gondolas, and just having a lot of fun with the system to eventually open it up in the fall. As always, I would encourage you to visit passporttotheparks.com. You can find all kinds of great information there, pictures, stories, articles, all the social media. I appreciate when you follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and definitely if you haven't done so, I would encourage you to subscribe here on YouTube. It really does help to support everything that I'm trying to do here. So again, hope you guys enjoyed that. I will talk to you very, very soon, and have a great, great Disney day. Bye-bye, guys.